You will remember that Travis had been to his first beer party and participated slightly, and he knew it was not what they should be doing, all the football team down there during game time, to be drinking beer and particularly smoking pot. Well, for the first time since he had come to town, he was reluctant to go home. He didn't want to face his granddad eye to eye because he felt so guilty. And he was afraid when his mother drove up the aisle and his sister got out. She gave him a hug and he shrugged her off and slammed the door when he got into the car. But Meg hung over the seat and she said, "I got a new puppy." "So," he shouted back. "What's the matter? You're such a big football team. You don't care about anything else?" "I'm not a hero, and I just wish you would shut up, Meg." Well, his mother didn't say anything, but she looked over at him and thought, well. So anyway, they got home, and the next morning for breakfast, the dad didn't join him because he had gone off working, as dads often have to do, and he never took his eyes off his plate. And after he had gotten up and his grandpa came in and said, "Hey, Trav, want to ride with me to check all the gates? We got all those cows out, but I don't think we shut the gates." Well, "I don't want to go," Travis said, and didn't even lift his eyes. "Well, now," his grandpa faltered, well, I can shut them gates." So he went on out the door, and after he had left, his mother said to him, "Travis Ransom, I do not know what's gotten into you. Whether you just turned 13 and been a ridiculous teenager, or for some uncivilized way you've taken on in town. But you have just hurt your grandpa's feelings, and do not let me see your face again until you go and make it right with him." So Travis jumped up from his plate and he stumbled through the door to pursue his grandfather. "Oh, Grandpa, I didn't mean to let you down." "Oh, well, now, son, you didn't let me down much. I can shut them gates all by myself." "I know you can, Pawpaw. It's not the gates. It's But he just couldn't finish to say what it really was. So his grandpa taunted him on the shoulder and said, "Come on, Trav, let's go check them gates." So it was a good thing they had checked the gates, for there were 3 of them wide open, unlatched, standing in the wind. And his grandpa said, Pancho Villa could have sashayed through here without even taking off his sombrero," Grandpa said as he shut the gates and got out his toolbox to put the nails in so they'd stay shut again when he had fixed the nails on just right. And he talked to his grandson and said, "Trav, there's one thing about gates. You always have to keep strengthening the bars," as the good folks said. "Even when the gates are closed?" "Yes, especially when the gates are closed. You just have to keep strengthening the bars." "Well, what if we just left them open?" "No need to have a strong gate if you're not going to close it. Just let it swing in the wind." Trav, I think there's a lot you can learn about gates. Good gates keep things out that aren't supposed to be in there, and if you leave gates open, no telling what kind of thing will get in. Things you never intended, weren't prepared for, things that'll cause you a lot of trouble. "Well, what if you don't get a gate closed in time, Grandpa?" "Well, now, if you had not got these gates closed, we would have had a bunch of old cows going wild in here, and we would have had a hard time getting them back into the herd. Have to chase them through the gullies, around the breaks, through the briar jungles. But we'd get them back, though, they'd get them back. And you better believe, we'd close that gate next time." Whew, that was a stubborn worm, Travis said as he hammered a nail into the gate and flopped slumped onto the ground beside his grandfather, who was chewing on a stem of Indian grass. Grandpa, do you have to keep on working at closing gates all the life, even when you're old? All your life, son, all your life. You have to keep gates closed. Well, it's kind of like climbing the ladder, isn't it, Grandpa? You know, the one you said we were all climbing? If you slip off a rung, you'll have to work twice as hard getting back on. If you leave a gate open, you'll surely be sorry. Grandpa chewed the grass away and threw it away and said, "You're right, Trav. Rungs are slippery, and gates don't close themselves."